We should be live now. What's up, ladies and gents? It's Sports Battle Time. We're here to talk about my Milwaukee Bucks hosting the Brooklyn Nets this evening. We've had some wild and crazy NBA games the last couple of days. I mean, you saw Clippers, Paul George, and the role players step up huge against Utah. I mean, an embarrassing collapse by the 76ers last night. An also pretty embarrassing collapse by my Bucks the night before, where KD was insane and Jeff Green was out there looking like Steph Curry. This is what the NBA playoffs are all about, and it's just a blast.
Two pretty embarrassing collapses by the Bucks and by the
76ers.
76ers 2 games ago, and then an epic collapse last night by Philly. I mean, that is pathetic.
I can't even imagine them bouncing back from this. I'm not saying they won't even win this series. I just can't. They have issues. And you heard a lot of people talking this morning about how, Ben Simmons is now inside his own head to the point that, like, he hasn't shot in the fourth quarter, like, back-to-back games. Like, he's a liability at this point. Like, issues, man. Like,
Big issues.
Assuming the Nets can close out Milwaukee in game tonight or game 7, like, man, they got a cakewalk into the finals, I think, as long as Harden or Kyrie can come back.
I agree.
So, I don't know. It's an interesting time, man. We got so many injuries. We got epic collapses. We got a bunch of craziness just going on with the NBA right now. But we're going to hear right now to talk about our friends over at Sports Battle, do our best to kind of, let you guys know what we think is going to happen in the game tonight. What I do think for sure is that you all should get on your App Store, your Google Play, and download the app. You got a 100% deposit match for the first $100. Get in there, get your money in, and go try to double it, triple it, or do whatever you're going to do.
Yeah, let's get it, man.
You guys, we've done this a bunch now. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it. Just evaluate it statistically, very similar to DraftKings. If you need to read the fine print, go take a look at it. It's almost exactly the same. They got a couple of differences in their attack mode versus defense mode. One going to be for your more aggressive players, one for your little bit more of your defensive players, hence the mode defense mode. So check out the details on this one. See how you want to get paid. Like everything in DFS, it's going to be a little bit slate dependent. If you got 4 plays you love and 2 you're wishy-washy on, go with the 4 picks.
For sure. No doubt about that.
All right, so we're going to start with the fantasy scores. Then we got a couple of points, rebounds, and assists guys to break down. Kevin Durant, man, I don't know what else there is to say about his performance the other day. Because it's not the finals or even the East semis, you can't say one of the greatest performances ever. But my God, it was – I feel like I have to say it was one of the greatest performances ever. He was amazing. Nothing short of sensational.
No, nothing short of sensational at all. One of the better performances I've seen in a while. Reminded me of, shades of LeBron in Detroit, LeBron in Boston. So one of the best performances of his career. He's going to have to shoulder a monster load tonight. I do kind of worry about Brooklyn here, though. So, man, this is a high score. I know I'm going to take the over on Giannis. I'm going to take the under on Durant. I think they make his life a living hell here.
I do think they do that, too. I just think with the assists, the rebounds, and everything, he's going to hit the over. But his stat line, like, I don't know what he had for a DK score last time out or what the score would have been on Sports Battle, but it had to be close to 100. I didn't even play that night, so I didn't even look. I don't think he gets anything close to that, but I still think he hits the over here. And you sound like you're pretty firm on the Giannis over, so am I.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I like the over on the first 2 guys. And then we get down to Middleton. Gun to head, I'm going to take the over on him as well.
Same. He's looked good recently. I like Middleton here. I think Milwaukee gets this game. So I think they play well. I'm going to take the over on all the Milwaukee guys because they're going to need all of them to play well.
Drew, I'm not as sold on. He's actually been – his defense is amazing. So there is 2 sides of the ball, and he has been nothing short of he's as good of a defender as they come. And last night you saw the Clippers attack the defensive player of the year in Rudy Gobert. Big men can have holes in their game. Like Drew Holiday plays defense. There's a couple guys out there, Thibault, Simmons. They just stay in front of the ball so well. So he's done a great job there, but he's been very disappointing to me on the offensive end. So I'm hoping you're right and that I'm wrong, but I'm going to take the under.
All right, cool. I get it. I mean, I don't think you're crazy. I think the score is about right on point, but low enough for I'll take the over here.
I want you to be right so bad. There's very few times I've wanted to be wrong. I picked the Packers to lose to the Cowboys. The game where Rodgers had that epic throw and then hit the field goal to win. Whatever that was, 5 years ago now, maybe. And I'd never been so happy to be wrong. I want to be wrong here really, really badly.
I get it.
What about Harden? It seems crazy to see his fantasy score of 34.59 and not pick the over on it. But if you watched last game, he ain't James Harden right now. I mean, credit to him just for like sucking it up to get out there to even just be a little bit of a decoy. But he is nowhere even remotely in the ballpark of 100%.
Yeah, this is an interesting one, though, because they obviously lowered his score. He shot awful last game. I'm going to take the over here. It's just too low of a score for Harden. If he's playing, I don't care how many legs he's got or hamstrings, I'm taking the over at 35.
You know, I mentioned that I watched most of the Jazz Clippers game last night, and the Donovan Mitchell ankle injury was pretty apparent. It was worse than I had anticipated. So I was big on Mitchell yesterday. He just did not have the explosivity. But man, he looks 100% compared to Harden. So that's where I'm torn right here. Like if he starts hitting his jumpers, he should be able to meander in some points. Just the fact that James Harden's as elite as they come, you know, from a DFS and just a fantasy scoring standpoint. So I'm a little right here for Brooklyn tonight. And after KD played all 48 minutes the other night and they rushed Harden out there earlier than they wanted to because they were kind of stuck in that situation, I could see them throwing in the towel on the road tonight like they did the other day, where they let the guys come in early and like, we'll just get them next game back at home. So that's where my hesitancy comes on this one is if Milwaukee plays well, I think Harden's not long for this game.
I get that. It makes a lot of sense to me.
So I'm torn. This is when we talked about the 4 picks, 5 picks. Like, I just have no idea on him. So, like, I am real wishy-washy. So let's move on down to the next guy, Blake Griffin. Another guy, I think they got his score about right. I'm going to go under, though, man, with Jeff Green back. Jeff Green isn't going to shoot like that again, but they like Jeff Green, and they trust him in this situation, which does eat into Blake a little bit.
Yeah, I'm with you. Give me the under here. On the road, the under on Griffin. I'm not buying what he's selling, and I think it'll take a lot for him to get there. Not saying he couldn't, but I think it'll take too much for me.
All right, so we're pretty split today. I got the over on KD, you got the under. We firmly agree on the overs on Giannis and Middleton. Drew were split, Harden were split, and Blake we agree on the under. So I don't know. It's a pretty good idea of where we're feeling on this one. Let's kind of move over to the next page and talk about points and rebounds. Let's give you a better idea about how we feel about some of these specifics. As far as the rebounds go on, Kevin Durant at 11.5, and Giannis also at 11.5. Definitely give me the over on Giannis. And I can't get last game out of my mind. I'm going to take the over on KD's rebounds as well, but I totally get and hope you're right if you go with the under.
I'm going to take under KD over Giannis. It just makes sense to what we just talked about in the previous one.
All right. So of all these numbers here, the one that I was struggling with most is the assists. You got Harden at 7.5. You got Drew Holiday at 7.5. Gun to head, I think I'm taking the under on each of them.
Yeah, same.
Like, if James Harden looks a lot better tonight, like, he could easily cruise into the over here. But I am worried about the Nets in this one. Because the Nets, you know, Steve Nash is funky in the sense that, like, I kind of like he plays with some pretty big balls, which I enjoy. You know what I mean? And, like, if this game's not going their way and they're down, say, 18, you know, halfway through the third, I can see him semi just throwing in the towel and be like, we just got this at home. It's us. We got it. No problem. I'm not even worried. Let's get you guys rested and we'll roll this thing at home. So that's where, like, a couple of these numbers really, like, gets in the back of my mind.
I get it, man. I have no arguments for that at all.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder what Nash is doing, and then other times I really enjoy the way he's like, home court, don't need it, blah, blah, blah. Game 7, we got it. We'll just get our guys rested. We'll go for it. No worries. And I'm like, I love the confidence of that.
For sure, no doubt.
Unless he's beating my Bucks, and he can go F himself.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go point totals. KD, 32.5. Giannis, 31.5. Again, a big theme of the day for us is I have more faith in KD today than you do. But, again, I still have that voice in the back of my mind that the Nets might just say, we'll just wrap this thing up in 7 and get it at home. I'm going to take the over on each guy, though.
I'm going to take the over on each, too. I don't think it's going to be that hard for either of them to get there, you know, playing a ton of minutes. Only worry here is a game gets blowouty, but I think they both get to the points with ease here.
Is KD a top 5 scorer of all time right now?
Yeah.
I think so, too. He's so unguardable with that length, and he's just got such a silky smooth shot, good from anywhere. And he did a great job of getting to the hoop the other day, too, which is a little bit of an underrated asset of his. Sometimes he doesn't seem to want the contact, but when he really puts his mind to it, he can do it all. I mean, he's got there are ways you can talk about him as the greatest offensive player of all time because of his efficiency and everything.
For sure. I have no arguments with that at all. He's special for sure. That's just a fact.
Yeah, no doubt about it, guys. All right, man. Good luck tonight to all of you out there. Go win yourselves some money. The name of the app is Sports Battle. Get your iPhone out, get your Android out, get it downloaded, get your $100 in there, have them match that deposit for you. Go win some money. And the 5-pack guys, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.